Across the hills and valleys laid a peaceful village called Ubuntu. It seemed as if it was cut across from the world due to its remote place. People lived happily while going on with their duties. Women and girls fetched water while the men did the manly stuff. Unknown to them, evil was lurking beyond the corner and it threatened to consume the whole. Meanwhile, people were at the palace celebrating the king's arrival from a far journey. King Apudo, known for his kindness and meekness, was addressing his council. Rumors of the war had struck his kingdom and to his believed that they needed to prepare for the worst. The king had a strong son who always loved hunting in the forest and was a clear reflection of his father. Unknown to the king, there lived a terrible witch in the middle of the forest who would capture people unaware, put a spell on them that made them to follow him and cast them together with their souls in a deep abyss where they would cry and gnash their teeth. He would later check to see how they were suffering inside his pot, which was connected to the abyss. This continued for months without people noticing, since they assumed if a person had not been seen for so long had maybe gone to some other places to start a new life. The prince was highly infatuated with a beautiful girl from the village of Ubuntu and would regularly sneak outside the palace and head towards the village to see her precious girl. This continued on for a while till one day when the prince and his guards were viciously attacked on the forest by unknown creatures who seemed monstrous. They were greatly outnumbered by the creatures and had to put up a real fight for their dear lives. Unluckily, only the prince survived, but his guards were consummated by the creatures. It happened that when the creatures touched a person, it became like one of them. The prince fled but was attacked by another of those creatures which seemed to be like their leader. The prince fought bravely and fled away. That same night, an old woman was coming out of her house and could hear footsteps approaching towards her hut. Quickly, from far, she could see a young woman carrying a child running to her. Meanwhile, at the borders of Ubuntu, the Ubuntu warriors were fighting the Canaan warriors from taking over their land. They fought bravely, but soon something strange happened. They began to sink inside the ground and wailed in desperation. The army commander of Canaan saw this and thought it wise to retreat but not to give up. Soon enough, something was happening in one of the great trees in the forest. It began like a glow and a child then smiled. What could this mean?